Howdy. So, right. Today is June 3rd, 2025, and I'm on the 395 headed north to towards Mammoth Hot Springs. And so here's the phone. Here's the phone. Where's the phone? Where's the phone? Whatever. It's there. So I have some news. Anybody that's been paying attention to my medical story, I had the blood test yesterday, got the results back last night, and good news is the marker that they've been using to track the cancer is called CEA, and it was elevated back in April when we last did it. It was at 6.7, and as of yesterday it was 4.5. So, yeehaw. I think I'm passing Mount Whitney right now, and that right there, if I can, that right there, if you can see it, this is the site of Manzanar. There's a guard tower. This is where the Japanese, one of the Japanese internment camps during the Second World War. See, Manzanar. This is where the brother that played Mr. Sulu on Star Trek was interned with his family during the Second World War. George Takei. And I think it's kind of important to remember that, especially in these times when we have our government snatching people off the street. And fortunately, it's not without communities rising up and saying, hell no. But anyway, I just spent the past, if you really haven't been paying attention, I just spent the past month down in San Diego flying my paraglider. And as of yesterday morning, I probably have been in the sky more than 30 hours over the past month. And I feel a lot more confident about my flying than I did a month ago, for sure. Another reason why I wanted to, besides testing out this new technology to live stream with these photo glasses, meta glasses, smart glasses, probably smarter than me, is because 2 years ago, right about this time, was the first sign of this latest cancer, the colon cancer, colorectal cancer. And it wasn't definitive, so I went another, from June of 2023 until November before I got the definitive diagnosis, which was my third diagnosis of cancer in the past 6 years, since 2019. And also, it's this time of year has been pretty significant in this journey, because in 2020, on June 10th, was the first time I was declared cancer-free. And for the, that lasted for about 6 months. And then in February of 2020, I was given another diagnosis for the same throat cancer, and went through another 6 months of treatment with an immunotherapy drug, and then by the fall of 2021 I was again considered cancer-free. And so a year ago, this time, I was driving up here, headed towards Mammoth Hot Springs and Buckeye Hot Springs, to having just completed 6 months of treatment for this colon cancer. 6 months of first there was the chemo, 5 infusions of this pretty horrendous poison that left me with neuropathy and severe nerve damage in my hands and feet. And I was hoping at the time to that soaking in the hot springs would help mitigate and accelerate the getting rid of that neuropathy, but that hasn't happened. They tell me that it's 100% reversible, but it takes a while because nerve cells take a long time to recover. And here I am a year later, and I'm still dealing with neuropathy. But I remember feeling like that was such a big deal this time last year, and little did I know, because I thought at the time that I was through with the cancer, and little did I know that a month later we would be looking at having to do the surgery, colon surgery, rectal surgery, and that would leave me shitting in a bag for 4 months. That was reversed in November, after much pressure from me to get it done. It was reversed 3 days after the presidential election. So while the world was going to, dealing with those ramifications, I had my head pretty deep into, pretty serious surgery that luckily resulted in me getting my body autonomy back, and that I've been trying to recover from for the past 6 months. And Hence me posting this on the first day of my hot spring tour. And happy to report that my physicality is pretty significantly recovered. And I can run, I can stand on my head, I can fly my paraglider, and the blood work showed that my immune system is still pretty compromised. White blood cell count is below normal. Platelets are pretty below normal, and so I've got to build my immune system back up pretty. That's kind of my focus, is building up my blood and whatnot. I think it's time to begin the selenium treatments again. Daily selenium, which helps your bone marrow produce white blood cells. So yeah, pretty significant moment. Just thought I'd mark it. Good to know that I'm a lot healthier than I'm everything's trending in a pretty positive direction, but there's still some areas of concern for me in the recovery. Building my system back up, getting my stamina back up. I'm really looking forward to soaking for the next while here. So I'm going to stop and get some gas at this Native American gas station. 427. That's magnificent. No, 443. Oh well, for diesel. It's probably the cheapest you're going to get in the Eastern Sierra, that's for sure. So anyway, let me pull in here and finish up. I'm not sure which one of these peaks is Mount Whitney, but they all seem to have snow on them, which is wonderful to see. This time last year, these mountains were completely covered in snow still, and so were the Eastern Sierras, which are those over there. So anyway, let's flip this around. What do I do? How do I do this? Go.
Your live video is paused. Glass is too hot. To continue, let them cool. Glasses are hot. To do that, let them cool. Glasses are hot. To do that. Glasses are hot. To do that, let them cool.
There we go. Oh, I see the problem. There we go. Alrighty then. So, these are the glasses, the replacement glasses. Yeah. So anyway, gonna let you go. Just wanted to, as I said, mark the moment, pass on the word for anybody that's been paying attention, and I'll try this again. Just really glad to be alive. I know how lucky I am to be still on the planet. And so the other day, this Charlie, my first flight instructor and somebody I look up to in paragliding and in life, even though he's younger than me, he said, partly because he's been flying for 36 years, he said, from my understanding, from what you've told me about your condition, there isn't, even if the marker's elevated or whatever, there isn't anything they can do. You've done everything. You've done all the treatments and everything. So it seems like you should just get on with your life, no matter what happens, it is what it is. And when he said that, it just hit me so hard that I started laughing because that pretty much encapsulates, puts the point on it. There isn't anything else to do now but live, one way or the other, And so I'm really glad that that I have this opportunity. It could have gone any number of. There are so many other. There have been so many points in the past, year when it could have gone in another direction, in a heartbeat, and sometimes not a heartbeat. Sometimes over, like I said one time, 12 hours. I knew if something didn't change it for 12 hours, I wouldn't see the next day. And I look at these situations, and I feel very fortunate to have made it through them, but also to have had those experiences. If there's one thing all of these three cancer go-rounds have taught me, it's that it's how to appreciate just being alive right now. And that's not just some sort of intellectual thing. It's like, really, how do you squeeze the juice out of right this minute? How do you enjoy right now? For me, being able to fly really brings that home. When you're sitting in the sky, with a couple hundred feet of space between you and the ground, riding on air, riding on the invisible, you have to appreciate that you're literally flying by the seat of your pants. And but once on the ground, it's the same story. One of my favorite things is those moments when we're standing at the LZ, between launches and landings and whatnot, and people are just sharing whatever comes up. So like the other day, Charlie goes, right after he shared that gem about, just live your life, this other pilot that I admire, Giuseppe, there's a couple of videos on here on my I think it's on my Instagram, and it's on YouTube, of Giuseppe flying upside down. Like he is in the harness, but he is completely inverted, flying the glider with his feet. Try to find that, because it's just really friggin' amazing. So the three of us are standing there, and they're talking about this younger pilot that had done a lot of really stupid things, and Charlie says, well, I just feel that if somebody's going to act like a clown, we should be able to pepper them with paintball pellets, because clowns should be marked with polka dots. I mean, It's like, and those moments of just shucking and jiving with kindred spirits who share the sky. I mean, we are goofy people, and there's nothing more. Those moments are so human that I cherish them. Last weekend I just kept thinking of that, the polka dots, the clowns in polka dots, and every time I thought about it, it would make me laugh, you know. So yeah, I savor a lot, and I hope that never changes and only gets deeper. So anyway, probably got another hour to the hot springs, and I'll figure it all out from there. So let's do this little thing here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for giving a hoot. And remember, we love you.